In this cash reconciliation flow, we're comparing a bank statement against our GL entries for a given period to help us understand across which GL accounts we have discrepancies, what's been tied out, and then to take it a step further, what adjustments we need to make to our general ledger to make the change in cash balances match. And then at the very bottom here, we can see once we've made these adjustments, we'll then have matching changes in cash. To actually get there, we're starting with two data sources that you can see here on the left-hand side, the first of which are our sample GL entries here at a transaction level. And then we also have our bank statement, in this example coming from Bank of America. And in this extract from email step, we're actually using AI to automatically parse all of the data off of this PDF and get it into a nice structured table just by typing in exactly what we'd like to extract, providing some example values and instructions to make sure we're accurately parsing this PDF. Once we've done the extraction, then we can start cleaning and transforming the data so that it's easy to reconcile against each other. For our GL entries, we're doing things like formatting our dates, we're aggregating to go from a transaction level to group by month, GL account, account number, so on and so forth. And then we're doing some data cleaning with columns to make sure everything is nice and clear in our data set. Once our GL data is in a good place, then we can shift to our bank account data, where after we parse our PDF, we can do things like filtering, add a month value, and things really get interesting once we get to this categorize with AI step, where we can type in all of our different GL accounts that we want to classify line items into, and even provide example values so that the AI knows exactly which category to classify into. Now, when we're using AI, always helpful to add some additional checks, especially for financial reporting. So we also have a card here where we're using another categorize with AI step to assign whether this is high, medium, or low confidence in our classification. So if we do want to go add more example values or more instructions, we can improve our classification over time. Once we've done this, we can do some things like calculate the change in cash by subtracting our opening from closing balance. We can make sure all of our amounts are clean. And then we can do a similar aggregation where we're summing up the amount from the sheet based on things like month, bank account number, so on and so forth, so that if next time we receive a bank statement for a different bank or even another Bank of America statement for another account number, this flow is always going to work for all of those different permutations. In this next step, we start to actually reconcile our data. Here I'm doing a combined table step, which is like a super VLOOKUP or index match based on multiple different keys, where in this example, we're joining based on month, bank, account number, and GL account for an accurate match. From there, I can use some steps to clean up our data and ultimately calculate our discrepancy between our bank and our GL. So you can see we have a handful of records where the discrepancy is 0, but we do have some line items that we're going to want to look into, particularly those where on our bank account statement, you can see we have a $6,000 credit, whereas on our ledger, we're reporting $0. Next, we can go ahead and actually determine our reconciliation status based on that discrepancy amount. So here you can see we're marking some as tied out, we're calling out that this is missing from our GL, we're calling out material discrepancies, so on and so forth, so that ultimately we can get a nice clear view of all of our discrepancies and the associated journal entries that we'll need to make to adjust our data. Now, this is just a demo, and it's meant to be 100% customizable. Since every cash reconciliation process is slightly different, this might not match one for one with your exact process, but hopefully this shows you how flexible Parabola is to ultimately match your process where it's at and take all of your custom logic and incorporate it into the workflow. If you'd like to use this flow, feel free to download the template from Parabola's use case library and let us know if you have any questions. Thanks a lot.